Okay.
Tripathi sir, your mic is not that much sound.
The mic is not sound. I think sound is not coming properly.
Your different direction you are looking.
Look here.
Oh, okay.
Now you are okay.
I think now it's okay, sir. I think
Going back.
okay. I'll do it from the phone. My sorry. I think I'll do it from the phone.
Yes, you do.
So, Dr. K. Nirmal Babu is a former director, Indian Institute of Spice Research. He is a very renowned scientist. He has a specialization in genetics, plant breeding, and biotechnology. Dr. Babu has completed his MSc from Kerala University, PhD and the PhD from Calicut University. He did PDF from the University of California. He has published over 375 research papers in reputed international journals. He has many awards and recognition to his credit, like Fellow, National Academy of Biological Sciences, Dr. C.B. Venkatam Distinguished Scientist Award in 2014, Biotechnology Overseas Associateship 1919 to 2000, where he worked with Richard W. Michael Morey in the Department of Vegetable Crops, University of California, Davis. He has received Jawaharlal Nehru Award in 1998. He was a member he received ICR Team Research Award in 1996. Dr. J.S. Pruthi Award. He has received Dr. J.S. Pruthi Award 3 times in 1996, 1997, 1998, and 2004, 2005. He has award for he has been awarded for meritorious contribution to spice industry in 2017. Despite that, he has been member of task force in different committees set up by different institutions. He is a member of different editorial board of many journals, including the Open Horticulture Journal of Bentham, USA. He co-edited many number of 3-4 monographs in the horticulture, biotechnology, and on spice research. He has mainly contributed his research, coordinated and directed his research in the country for the production, sustainability, and the food safety of crops and the spices. So we are very happy to have Dr. Babu here to speak on the spices today. I will welcome Dr. Babu to start his presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. Samsarao sir, Dr. Tripathi sir, I'm extremely grateful for giving me an opportunity to say something about spices, to especially Northeast, because the future of spices is Northeast. I take this opportunity to thank each one of you for coming and participating in this discussion. Essentially, the purpose is to make Northeast the new hub of spices. So I will start making a presentation, and maybe after the presentation, we'll be able to discuss some of the points. Thank you very much. I'll be sharing my. You can see?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. It's visible.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, India is known as land of spices. It is for search for these spices. Almost all over the world, especially from Europe, people who are searching how to come to the land of spices. And it is searching for spices we have discovered, including New World, United States of America, or what we call the Americas, searching for spices. Why are we searching for these spices? You know, the story of spices is very romantic, and it is linked with the destiny of this world. Because those days, you know, in those days of some of the books writes that it makes life pleasurable in unwashed humanity, because in olden days the preservation, storage, how do we live is quite different, and spices bring flavor. And especially when there are no fridge and all these technologies of storage food, these are all not there, and spices play a very important role in preservation of food. Okay, that was the reason, and it will mask the bad flavors of maybe fermenting, I will not say rotting, fermenting food, especially meat. The second important point is when you add spice, it not only preserves but also adds a sort of flavor both to the nose and to the taste, so that our digestive systems and our linked the way you enjoy your food. Plus, it gives color. It adds color to many of our food and way of life. And later we found out spices are very important in cosmetics also. Turmeric is the most, even now, one of the most important cosmetic for getting your skin color very attractive. And while consuming spices, we have learned our native medicines that they are very, very important sources of phytochemicals which are of medicinal properties and nutraceutical properties. Now it is being used in pharma. So it's not a wonder that the people are looking for spices. Once upon a time, spices were traded more value than gold and diamonds. India is the source. As we all know, I'll just give you a quick look that India now not only produces but also controls around approximately 50% of spices production and trade. We earned almost last year, this year, about 3 billion US dollars in spices export. It's about 4 to 5% of our aggregate GDP. And among the agricultural products which are exported from India, spices play fourth position after fisheries, basmati rice, buffalo meat, and spices. So it plays a very important role not only in our way of life, but also the way we earn. Because we always say spices are low volume but high value products. So we have about 28, 29 states, and spices are grown almost everywhere. We have centers. I work from Indian Institute of Spices Research, which works on tropical spices, in Indian Council of Agricultural Research, and we have another institute which works on seed spices, that works from Ajmer. like coriander, cumin, fennel, fenugreek. The seed spices are handled by Ajmer. And we have a network of state agricultural universities under All India Coordinated Spices Improvement Project. We represent almost all the agroclimatic zones with about total of 38 centers. I have about 7 centers in the Northeast, maybe including Mizoram. We have a center in Kolaset. And we cover almost all the agroclimatic regions. And of course, the entire trade and marketing of spices is handled by 2 other institutions. The Spices Board look after all the trade related and export related issues, and the Directorate of Harikanat and Spices Development at Calicut, which works under MIDH, Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, looks after the development. So, and of course, Indian spice industry is the best in the world. I think we have the world's largest exporter of spices, oils, and oleoresins at Kerala. And our processing are the best in the world. And most of the spices trade is controlled by India partially. Why we are now discussing where the spices was once upon a time our hegemony. Now lots of other competitors, other countries are coming with spices and spices products. Earlier, there was a belief spices grow only in India, but now they are growing almost everywhere because we started controlling the environment and managing the environment much better. When India was the leader of spices, the spices most of the spices known from India are forest produce. They're essentially organic and they are collected from some of the best climatic conditions in the world. Today it's not. Today it is cultivated. So when you come to the strengths of India, maybe many countries are cultivating, but India is the world's largest genetic resources and the diversity of spices. This picture shows to you. We have almost 10,000 different accessions of spices, almost 3,000 black pepper, you may not be knowing, and almost 1,500 turmeric, 900 ginger, and whatnot. Almost every crop, most of the crops we know, we have the diversity. This picture gives you the amount of diversity. But let me tell you, one of the reasons why I'm presenting this is we have not utilized the real diversity which is available. We were only thinking about how to increase production, productivity. See, I want to give you an important point. Okay, when we purchase mango, you purchase a variety. Okay, Alfonso, Dashari, or whatever you call it, each variety is specific. But when you think of black pepper, I think the connection. Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, hello. Hello?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, I think slides.
Yeah, it seems like internet is creating problem.
Okay, okay. Now it's okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have the genetic resources. So the issue is, how do we stand in the international competition? In production and productivity, there are many other countries with cheap labor and good soil where the spices are new, are able to produce cheaper spices. But certainly, with respect to the diversity and the uniqueness of spices, nobody to beat us. Hello, next.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just look for, just I want to give you some important these things, which are maybe you can see the black pepper with multi-branched black pepper, the diversity of black pepper, red ginger, black turmeric, and dwarf nutmegs, yellow nutmegs. So literally many of them are not available anywhere in the world. That uniqueness of spices we must utilize. And of course, because essentially, though we have an organized research under AICRP's program, spices are also developed by the local farmers themselves. These are all farmers varieties. In cardamom, we have 20. In turmeric, we have about nearly 100 with PPFRA. They are waiting for registration. In black pepper, there are about 5 to 10. So we are certainly utilizing the what we call the farmer's expertise in a farmer's participatory breeding. So we always work with farmers because, you know, some of these spices are perennials. It will take a long time to understand. So the knowledge of farmers where the diversity is there is also utilized in developing, identifying the unique varieties and trying to bring to the agricultural system with the registration and release of varieties. So we have, actually, this gives you an idea about approximately in black pepper, cardamom, ginger, turmeric, nutmeg, curry leaf, coriander, fennel, fenugreek, and whatnot. All the spices, we have plenty of already Can you?
Yes,
Coming
sir.
now?
Now you are
Right. Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm going for the next slide. Okay. So this is just a pictorial diagram of how many, of course, very specific black pepper varieties. Now Northeast is gaining importance as not only Northeast, the entire East Coast is gaining it because the black pepper is only from the West Coast. It is now coming very much to Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, and of course Assam is one of the main crops for black pepper. There are many varieties. We have almost 20 varieties. Of course, as you ask me questions, I will be able to give you which are all the varieties which are suitable. But this particular one is a variety which can withstand a wide range of agroclimatic zones and can give you more yield from a particular type of vegetative growth and very high in its oil content, which gives you the flavor of spices. Cardamom has not come to the Northeast. The Northeast crop is large cardamom. Okay, we'll talk about large cardamom later. But still, I feel there are some regions in Northeast, and of course, it has come up to Orissa. In East Coast, it has started coming up in Orissa, in our mountainous regions bordering Andhra Pradesh. The small cardamom is coming, and Northeast is another. We have some very special varieties. Our competing country is only Guatemala, but Indian cardamom is the best in the world. Turmeric, of course, I need not tell to the Northeast people, Northeast is the center of the best turmeric in the world. Actually, from Meghalaya and most of the other parts of Northeast, the variety is Lakadam, which was improved and released as Megha. That is one of the things which is popular. All over the world, they look for Lakadam. Now we have introduced many other varieties. One of them is Rajendra Sonia, which is which gives you almost 60 to 70 tons, almost the double the yield of most of the other varieties. This is collected from Bihar. Now it is growing very well in Arunachal and Northeast and Meghalaya. We also have a specific variety in Mizoram. Our centers in Manipur also developed some varieties. Prabha and Pratibha, the first seedling progenies which we have developed from turmeric, because turmeric doesn't set seed anywhere. It's only in Indian Institute of Spice Research, some research was done, and we have developed seed generated progenies, Prabha and Pratibha. Pratibha is working very well in the Northeast. Ginger, of course, Northeast has a very special preference to ginger because the Indian ginger usually comes from Kerala and Karnataka. The ginger from India is for dry ginger because it is for medicinal purpose. It has a very specialist lemonish flavor. So it is much needed all over the world today, even in the COVID pandemic, the ginger is the most sought after because it has many components which gives you immuno-boosting habits. But of late, ginger, for vegetable ginger, is gained more importance, where extremely bold, extra bold vegetable gingers, white colored gingers, which comes in India, which comes from Sikkim, Nagaland, and Arunachal, those foothills of Himalayas, very important, because now our competitors for ginger is China and Vietnam, Southeast Asian countries. So they are producing vegetable gingers because much of Southeast Asia doesn't want very strong ginger. The strong ginger is for medicinal and other purposes, not only spice, strong spice. Whereas this a sort of vegetable ginger, it doesn't have much fiber and it can be directly consumed along with food. So it is much preferred of late. So there are some varieties, your variety, Nadia from Nagaland, is extremely bold. We are trying to popularize this and able to compete with the Chinese these things in the international market. Nutmeg, jaifal, as all of you know, is an important crop which gives you two spices, nutmeg and mace, jaipatri and this thing. It's a perennial crop. Earlier, we used to have nutmegs which takes about 8 to 10 years to flower, and there is a male-female separation. Today, I developed and identified bisexual types which will start giving yield very early, almost from third year onwards. So nutmeg has become an important crop for a country of Grenada. Grenada survives on single crop nutmeg. It is there in the flag of Grenada. Nutmeg is there in the, and their nutmegs are little sweet nutmegs we call. That means they are low in myristicin. Nutmeg has myristicin and elemicin, which are anti-carcinogenic. And they are also a little bit hallucinatory. And certainly it can be used as sort of a pain alleviating palliative care for terminally ill cancer patients. We are trying to develop a sort of a wine and an extract from nutmeg rind, which can be used as a good nutritional drink, but at the same time makes you comfortably with a natural way of sleeping and able to alleviate pain. Cinnamon. Though we consume a lot of cinnamon, surprisingly, 90% of all our cinnamon from Vietnam and China. We call it cinnamon, but actually it's not cinnamon, but it is cassia. Cinnamomum aromaticum. Cinnamomum verum comes only from Sri Lanka and little bit from Kerala, but now it is almost reduced. Little bit is there in Andamans and a little bit in Andhra Pradesh, but there is no true cinnamon available in this country. So we are importing about 40,000 tons of cassia from Southeast Asia. Cassia has a problem. Cassia has a coumarin, which will affect your kidneys if you consume more. Earlier, we never used to use cinnamon in biryani and this thing and take it off and throw it out. Today, cinnamon has a very important cinnamaldehyde is anti-diabetic. So a lot of people are using cinnamon powder to consume directly. In such case, coumarin has a problem. So we have developed a cassia variety with very low coumarin, below the accepted, the non-permissible limits are within the accepted levels of this thing. This is the first cassia variety which has done. Of course, in cumin, India is the best in the world. We earn about 2,500 to 3,000 crores annually from cumin. We have some of the best varieties. GC4 is one of our best variety. We are now, it has, because it is, it's only 3-month crop, highly sensitive environmentally. So if a rain or a snowfall comes, the entire crop loss. Either you become a millionaire or becoming a pauper. That's the peculiarity of cumin crop. So we have developed a variety resistant to wilt, Fusarium wilt, but we are looking for blight. Blight is a big problem now affecting cumin. But cumin, India is the best in the world now. Coriander is again Indian crop. We are the one of the most important producer of coriander. But of late, many coriander varieties are coming from Russia, and Korean companies, private companies are popularizing big leafed coriander types. Though for grain types, Indian coriander is the best. But for vegetable type, because it's a very important culinary herb, coriander from other countries is occupying or consuming much of Indian market. Funnel. As you know, maybe you would have seen the latest advertisement of Sonf, latest advertisement of Vico Vajradanti. Vico Vajradanti contains Sonf because it has its own a sort of mouth refreshener habits. In addition to spices, it is being, most of us will consume sugar-coated Sonf. And Indian Sonf is harvested a little bit early, is very sweet, and the Lucknow Sonf is one of the best in the world. So we have developed varieties, as I have told you, essentially spices are major groups, a group of big perennials, and you cannot do breeding so fast. So essentially it is based on selections and popularizing the selections through to multi-location testing. Whereas in seed spices, little bit of selection and recurrent selection and little bit of breeding is also possible of late. Otherwise, mostly selections from the farmer's field and also getting from the diverse germplasm. But we are selecting not only for the yield and spices, essentially for quality, and of late spices are having problems with pesticide residues, because we are earlier it was all grown scattered, now we are growing intensively, so many of them are affected by diseases and pests. So we apply pesticides, and pesticides in our spices exported is one of the biggest issue. So we are now, these are all a picture about how disease resistant varieties have been developed in the spices. So earlier, we had a market and nobody bothers. India is the land. Today we have a lot of competition. So the first and foremost importance we have given is to increase the production and productivity, because our labor is slightly costlier. Earlier it was very cheap. Now with cheap labor available in African countries and Southeast Asian countries, they're able to produce spices for a cheaper price. So now the only way, we cannot bring down the labor cost. We have to pay. In Kerala, we pay 1,000 rupees per day. It's very costly. So we have to increase production and productivity. These are all varieties by which we can increase, almost double and triple our productions. And now, as I say, it's not in the volume, but it is in the value. Spices are for its intrinsic qualities. Black pepper is for piperine. Turmeric is for curcumin. Ginger is for gingerol and sugar. Nutmeg is for myristicin, like that. If those components in search for yield, those components are reduced, then we will not compete in the international market. So industry, spices, Indian spice trade is one of the best in the world. It controls almost half the world's trade. So industrial demand, because this is a commercial crop. So these are all varieties which are very specific for extraction, because so far we have been supplying raw material. I think it is time we change. We have already changed, but not enough. We change into from the raw material supplier to the value-added product supplier. So in such case, we have to very specifically target varieties with high quality attributes, or the spices which contain those spicy components which are high. So these are all just a list of for some of the students or other people who are hearing. These are the list of varieties which are available with very unique characters for industrial purpose. Okay. Climate resilience, because earlier, people say that Indian climate is the best in the world, but the climate has changed. The rainfall has changed. The soil conditions have changed. And spices, most of us know, has a GI, geographical indication. That means the region where it grows is a very important factor in spices. Cardamom doesn't grow anywhere. Large cardamom grows only in Sikkim. Ginger and these things mostly comes from Kerala, is for high fiber, high quality. The other one, this is vegetable types. Turmeric from Northeast is the best in the world. So they have a GI. Okay, so it is time that we develop varieties which, irrespective of the climate, perform well. So these are all some of the varieties which we have developed, which have high climate resilience and which perform well, because the rainfall pattern has completely changed. As most of you know, I think in the last 5 or 6 years, we have been seeing terrible, unexpected changes in the climate. The crops will simply disappear. So we have also developed, and this leads to a lot of new diseases. Phytophthora black pepper, wilt of black pepper, if it comes, it will destroy the entire plantation in 1 year. Cumin, I did not tell you, I have already told you, one rainfall can destroy the entire crop from 100% to 0. So like that, these resistant varieties, which we have to deploy, not only to overcome the diseases, but also to reduce the pesticide and fungicide residues which are affecting our imports. As we have a good collection of varieties, I just want to highlight to all of you very important factor here. A variety specific, end product specific spices should be grown, not bulk black pepper, not bulk black pepper with high piperine. Because today Sri Lanka is offering, most of the Indian importers are going to Sri Lanka for getting piperine, high rich piperine from black pepper from Sri Lanka. We should, because we have bulk, everything is, all mango varieties are sold as single mango variety. So the total quality is brought down. When you sell it as Dashari separately, Banganapalli separately, Alfonso separately, there is a price difference. That concept has to come. So in such case, planting material, it should not be any black pepper. Plant propagation, because these are all, most of the spices other than seed spices are vegetatively propagated plants. Lucky, God is great. So we have technologies by which we multiply planting material without disease. See, the planting material you use makes so much difference. Earlier, it is a forest plantation, you plant, wait for, it can, black pepper can grow anywhere. Black pepper doesn't need its own land. It can grow in a mango tree, it can grow on any tree, it can grow in a forest tree. It is now grown as a mixed crop. But now the concept is changing. Now it is all pure lines, not in forest. It is on a non-living standards. So the picture, what I show is what India is trying to do. And see the picture on the top right corner of this thing, how the Indonesia and Malaysia and Vietnam does it. High intensity cultivation. That is why they are able to produce more for a cheaper price. Whether it is sustainable, that's a different issue, because forestry people will be able to say, because there are issues. One is, when you need a high volume for a particular time, you have to follow a different method. But when you want a long-term handling, Indian way of doing it on arecanut or coconut or in silver oak standards as part of the agri-forestry is sustainable in a long run. It will maintain the soil health, but still, when competition comes, certainly you must be able to meet the demand. So we are also trying to do this sort of things. And now I will show you. Okay. And the second one is ginger and turmeric. As we know, planting material is the biggest issue in ginger. Almost 2 tons per hectare you require. So of late, this ProTrade technology is becoming very popular. We have used this instead of a huge big piece of ginger, which is in Northeast, you know, you plant almost 100 to 200 grams of ginger for planting material, plant it and take back the old ginger for sale. So that gave us an idea. You don't require that much of seed at all. You require about 4 to 5 grams of ginger or turmeric seed cutting and grow in a ProTrade. And this will very importantly reduce disease spread, because with almost 2 tons per hectare, we do about 4 lakh tons of 4 lakh hectares in ginger. You imagine the amount of a huge seed requirement. So this requirement can be reduced to 1/4. So much of the ginger and turmeric seed saved is more than the total production of many countries. So this technology is now gaining very popular, and more because it can be the ProTrade technology will also deliver the biological control agents along with it, and any diseased seed part which is infected can be removed at the nursery stage itself. Very important for ginger. And using this technology today, a sort of a ProTrade technology and a protected cultivation is a very important single node soilless cultivation. Okay, so that we can produce disease-free planting material and in a large amounts, because if the disease comes, especially in ginger, in field, it is very, very difficult to control. So this sort of quality seed production plays a very important role. Of course, we have earlier, you know, because of the water shortage, today it is drip, micro irrigation. Okay, as Prime Minister says, that the water has to be very carefully utilized. We have a lot of water, but much of the water goes into the sea. You know, we don't regulate and we don't conserve water. Water conservation should be our top priority. But whatever water we have, essentially for seed spices in the dry regions of Gujarat and Rajasthan, this sort of micro irrigation technologies are available. Every crop has micro irrigation technologies, which are, most of the things are available in the website of Indian Institute of Spice Research and All India Coordinated Research Projects. And from the olden days of forest-based ecosystem, where the soil health is maintained, and where our philosophy was low in volume, high in value, now it has changed into high in volume and low in value. The soil is destroyed. And so what are the solutions for it? So along with our state agricultural universities and spices board and DSD, along with all the stakeholders, we have worked together. And now, you know, it's a concept in not only here, but also in agriculture, site specific. You know, we measure the pH, we measure the nutrient, these things, and only give what is required. Simply don't give this for targeted yield. Okay, and packages for organic cultivation and crop specific micronutrients. Of late, micronutrients is becoming a big issue. And as I have already told you, a sort of micro irrigation and a sort of intercropping, because one of the peculiarity of most of the spices is they don't need a separate land. Turmeric can be grown in a mango or any fruit orchards along with it. Okay, turmeric can be grown with mixed crop with sorghum, chili, whatnot. You know, so many other crops combinations are there, maize. So now the concept is to have a sort of a multiple cropping systems. We have identified, Indian Institute of Spice Research works a lot on biological control organisms, a sort of a consortia of PGPRs and biological control organisms, which are collected from the fields of the crops itself. And the delivery, this particular picture shows a sort of a encapsulated capsule. Okay, just like our tablets which we take, because the delivery, you can use the biological control fortified in so many forms, but this particular capsule form will make your transport very easy. And one small capsule, which maybe 10 or 15, all what you need for a hectare, you can carry in your pocket. And one capsule can be dissolved in 200 liters of water and then delivered. So this capsule technology is now considered a breakthrough in spices, and now it is being caught up in many other crops, and not only crops, actually delivery of microorganisms. And this is one of our technology which is being adopted by almost lots of private companies. Organic farming, we have developed a sort of an organic package of practices, especially for the Northeast, because what we say, Northeast is default organic, and we don't want to convert Northeast, because Northeast is one of the largest part of, or maybe another part is Bastar, which can offer organic products in large scale. Most of the other areas we have to bring it back to the organic level, and it takes time. So these organic packages are available for almost all the crops, and we can use it. And this is another cropping system which earlier days everywhere, and it is very common in Kerala, everybody. That is, I have in my garden, because you don't have much land. Kerala has people with small land. So is in many states. So when we have a small land, I have one jackfruit, I have one pepper, I have one tuber crop, I have one coconut, I have one this thing, and that is called a multi-species cropping system. The Central Plantation Crops Research Institute, about 45 years back, has developed, based on the information we have generated from most of the other places, especially in Kerala and some areas of Bengal and Northeast, this multi-species cropping system, where almost 22 crops are grown, which are competing at different levels at root zone and at sunlight and nutritional management, and gives you yields at different seasons. Almost every month you will get some crop which is available for you to give a sale. This high density multi-species cropping system is a model. I think finally, if we have to do it with doubling farmers' income and still maintaining our sustainability of soil, this is a system highly suitable for spices, may be suitable for some other crops and in different combinations. And we are working. See, earlier, these are the regions which are known for spices, best regions known for spices. This is for black pepper, for example. Now you see the climate change is good for us also. It's not always bad. Maybe it has the earlier ones which are good were made a little not suitable, but it has made many other places suitable. See, now the East Coast, that is the main region for Orissa, Andhra, Bengal, Assam, and even in Meghalaya and Arunachal, to some extent, not in the bordering Assam. Black pepper can be grown essentially in tea gardens. So this, we are now trying to find out the suitability of newer areas because of the change of climatic conditions we have for each of the crop. And of course, this is the opportunity for Northeast. You have so much of tea plantations. We are already working with Tata's amalgamated plantations, all the shade trees. So they are simply providing shade. In between, some black pepper is there. If you are going to grow black pepper, Northeast will become one of the major centers of black pepper productions, especially in Assam. There are the shade trees, and in all other places, wherever there is a tree, you can certainly use it for growing black pepper. And of course, if there is some sunlight, you can grow ginger and turmeric. And certainly another crop which we have never introduced to North is vanilla. I'll be telling about it later on. Okay, it has come, vanilla. See, vanilla today, of course, India is not a country for vanilla. It is Mexico and Madagascar. Because of the, what we call, they're not stable countries. There is social unrest. Because of that, the vanilla is now gaining importance in India. Today, 1 kilogram of vanilla costs you 35,000 rupees. Vanilla, you need not grow like a commercial cultivation. You can grow in any tree. All you need to pollinate. If you pollinate 3 inflorescences, you will get 1 kg, 35,000. No other crop will give you that much easily. This, and I think vanilla can be introduced into most of Northeast, wherever only thing is water logging should not be there. And it can be a sort of a crop for homestead, for the people who sit at home, old people or ladies who are there. You can just take care of. You need not do much care. Only thing is just you have to do little bit of pollination and collect the fruits of it, and it can certainly give you a tremendous amount of additional income. Saffron, we can't do much because saffron is highly climate dependent and environment dependent crop, but we have never exploited Arunachal for saffron. It is now coming up. Saffron, nowadays people are working, saffron can be grown in Coimbatore. Okay, the quality is different, but it is coming. So we are now tropicalizing saffron, but Arunachal should be exploited. Now Arunachal is a place of where a lot of opium is grown, but now large cardamom is now covering up to replace that. Now I suggest that maybe as a governmental policy, we can introduce saffron to Arunachal, and I think that we can have a very wonderful. This is the large cardamom. This is in Nagaland and Arunachal. You see the slopes. This is one crop, which I think nothing much was done in the Northeast except the introducing planting material from Sikkim. Sikkim, the large cardamom is reducing because of the organic cultivation, and essentially because it has a viral infections. Okay, and when you take the planting material from Sikkim to the Northeast, you must take in mind you should not carry virus, and already a lot of virus is introduced. I think almost all northeastern states, if I remember correctly, in one of the national meeting in large cardamom, every state, including Mizoram, Meghalaya, everybody want to grow large cardamom. You can grow, okay, but may not be to that extent. But I want, please don't introduce Chirke and Furke virus diseases. Then you will destroy your entire region. The Spices Board, one of our centers in Sikkim, has developed large cardamom guide, how to grow large cardamom in entire, I think huge areas in Arunachal and Nagaland. Large cardamom is grown, just planted and harvested. Nothing is done. Of course, the terrain is like that, very difficult. And as you can see, there is no overhead shade, so leading to blight, leading to drying up of the crops. So kindly follow large cardamom guide, which is available with the Spices Board and also in the AICRPS website. And large cardamom gives you a very important yield, and you don't need that much of maintenance. And it gives you, I think 2 years back, large cardamom gave more money than small cardamom, almost 1,500 rupees a kilogram. So kindly use this large cardamom. And coming back, okay, food safety, as I have told you, is the biggest issue, because now we have gone to intensive cultivation from the forest-based organic cultivation and a lot of pesticides. So we have no other way but to bring this integrated pest and disease management, bring clean planting material, as I have told you, virus-free, disease-free planting material of a unique variety, specific variety. Variety means like Banganapalli, it will be Banganapalli. Like Karamonda, it is high flavor. Like Kottanadam in black pepper, it is high piperine. Like that, specific. That those varieties, if you can bring, then integrated disease management, including host resistance. This is the technology which we have developed. And one of the biggest problem, including Mizoram, is ginger. If the rhizome rot is the biggest problem caused by both Pythium as well as Pseudomonas or Ralstonia, bacterial wilt it is called. If the disease comes, it is very, very difficult and the soil becomes most unsuitable. And I think the most of the ginger cultivation in the Northeast has come down because of the rhizome. So this is a technology which we have developed with soil solarization and calcium chloride treatment and a PGPR, a bacterial isolates which we use, we will be able to completely control the disease almost to the 90%. So this is a technology which we are popularizing now along with the Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. And if you don't eliminate disease, this rhizome rot from ginger, I think when I started my surveys, India used to supply almost 85% of the world's ginger. Today it has come below 50. Okay, this is because of rhizome rot. A technology is available and it can be utilized for, especially for Northeast. We are also working on this from now on. I just tell you some of the latest things which we are applying, because most of the spices are perennials, they have endophytes. Lot of endophytes are required to keep the crop healthy. So we are isolating many endophytes which are very high in PGPR and biological control activities. We are trying to release it. And we have developed virus diagnostics, because almost ginger, turmeric not much, but black pepper and cardamom, both cardamoms, severe problems of viruses. So virus elimination, and if in a vegetative propagated crop, virus spreads like anything. So the initial material in the nurseries, so because we brought accreditation of nurseries concept into spices, which was not there before. So accredited nurseries with disease-free material, virus diagnosed material is an important thing. What virus can do and what we can't do with virus, the coronavirus has taught us very much. And we have developed a sort of a good agricultural practices for almost all these crops are available. Essentially good agricultural practices. And we have also developed organic packages which are available. Organic packages means it will not allow use of any other chemicals. Both are there, which we have to use it. And of course, in spices, one of the other factors, because it's an export crop, hygiene is very important. We touch with hands, we do it in soil, we do it with cow dung coated mats and whatnot. Those days it was okay, because now we are all becoming very sophisticated and everybody want cleanliness, and even the look they want, they don't want dark colored ginger. They want white. So we use calcium chloride and acid treatment to bring white color to the ginger, because the looks. So mechanization, not only it helps avoiding the shortage of labor, and also helps in bringing hygiene into the entire processing system from farm to fork. The entire thing can be mechanized. There are a lot of work has been done in spices mechanization, and in Northeast again there is so much of tree cover. Sunlight is the only one. Electricity is not there. Roads are not there. Transport is compared with the rest of India. Not that it's not there. Is less. So certainly, when the electricity, these things are not there, the techniques are available to use solar, and wherever sunlight is accessible, we'll be able to use for drying, because spices, just cleaning and drying is the most important, the first step where the hygiene and quality is maintained, so that the aflatoxins doesn't come, the loss due to moisture and other things will not come, because aflatoxin is a very big issue. The solar based technology, solar dryers, solar boilers, solar, these things are very commonly used for ginger, turmeric, and chili and spices, which are not spices. So Northeast, there is a problem, because it produces the best spices in the world, or the best in this country, but the industry is not coming. The industry is in this part of southern India. The best spices are produced in the north and northeast parts of India. The transportation cost, for example, somebody has calculated, it is 15 rupees for transporting ginger, 1 kg of ginger from Assam or northeast to Kerala. 15 rupees. My God, that's the cost of ginger. Okay, we get about 15 rupees only, 15 to 20 rupees. That's the cost. Because the transportation in the Northeast is very much limited. And the productivity, if industry says, if I have to come there, then there must be sufficient quantity of a specific variety. So when such issues are problematic, when there is small quantities, not enough for a big industrial house, then we can do a small processing units with the governmental help and with the various business planning development units of the universities and the institutions. We will be able to process quickly, on-farm quick processing. This will help us to, because turmeric prices are changing, spices, one of the biggest problems are changing prices. Raw material price have changed, but turmeric powder price has never changed. So if you go to the initial first step processing, the prices won't really effective. So this sort of technologies will really help. Okay. So, and off late, what happens, because now India is now going into it. Earlier, we used to only supply, other countries will do it and sell it back, send it back to India. As our frankincense, wood, what we call, it goes from what is its name? Anyway, it is English. Anyway, that actually grows from in Northeast, goes to Dubai. It is all controlled, and it comes back to India at almost 1 lakh rupee a kg price. So that should not happen. So of late, Indian spice blends and oleoresins are becoming very important value addition. We will not be the suppliers of the raw materials, will be suppliers of high value compounds. That should be a sort of IISR has developed a sort of small, maybe around 50 lakh rupees, below 50 lakh rupees, a small processing units for quick conversion of farm produce and including farm waste, including say nutmeg, the rind is mostly wasted. They can be converted into a value added products, and this sort of models can be, it's a small facility. I think if a district administration wants, it can be easily established so that the issue of transportation doesn't really help, affect our this thing. Of course, biotechnology we have been using, and tissue culture plays a very important role in production of disease-free planting material. We have protocols for almost 40 spices, which can be multiplied in vitro. And we have, these are all just technologies, just to enumerate what we have: a synthetic seed technology for conservation of germplasm. We have established both in vitro as well as cryogene banks, both at IISR as well as National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, NBPGR, is the National Cryogene Bank. So, and we also maintain the repository of Phytophthora biological controls and all the microorganisms wealth. We have the technologies for preservation and conservation. This is another technology which we use, microrhizome technology, ideally suited for ginger and turmeric. This microrhizome technology is used for the disease elimination and production of disease-free planting material, especially in ginger. And when protected cultivation is coming, as you know, it is becoming now popular. Indian mindset has not grown that much, but still it is coming up. China, thousands of hectares under protected cultivation. Protected cultivation means the quality is uniform. So where the environment plays a major role, if you put it under protected cultivation, that G into E is removed. So we'll be able to ensure uniform quality. So under which this microrhizome technology, this is of course embryo rescue. Ginger doesn't set seed at all. So no breeding is possible, only mutation breeding and maybe selections and natural mutations. That's the only possible way. So we were able to use the embryo rescue technology. This is the first fruit of ginger, seeds of ginger, so that we can initiate a new breeding in ginger. These are all in a vegetative propagated crops, somoclonal variation, because as I told you, in seed spices, the amount of diversity in India is very limited. We are getting from the Mediterranean countries. And because of the small size of the flowers, pollination is not possible. We are now trying methods for pollinating in fennel and cumin. We have not tried. Fenugreek, yes, it is possible. So we utilize the somoclonal variation and this callus regeneration. See, for example, in ginger, see the variation in the rhizome size. We can create so much in turmeric. Just see. So it is quite possible because it's a triploid. Turmeric is a triploid. And if you are able to create a sort of a somoclonal variation, and which can be preserved by vegetative propagation, it is wonderful. And we have developed many. And many of the somoclones which are little tolerant to using in vitro selection has already been done. And this is the a cyclic somatic embryogenesis in black pepper. Millions of plants can be produced. So we are now trying to upgrade it to a bioreactor model, so that we'll be able to produce large amount of disease-free planting material, as most of for example, the country of Korea does everything in somatic embryos, automated bioreactor mediated somatic embryogenesis for production of planting material, which we are now working in black pepper. And the same, when we do the somatic embryos, because they multiply so much, we'll be able to eliminate viruses with antiviral treatment. Okay, antiviral compounds can be treated at somatic embryo level, and we'll be able to produce completely virus-free planting materials, as proved by our virus testing diagnostics. Virus-free planting material. Anther culture is something which we have not utilized really, but then technologies are available in ginger and cardamom. Protoplast technology is also available because in spices, genetic transformation at this point of time, GM crops is a taboo. But very soon we may require GM, so we are getting ready. Fingerprinting, it is very essential. So we had profiled, molecular profiled and DNA profiled of most of the spices, not only for understanding their interrelationship, but also identifying varieties. Okay, identifying hybrids and identifying, because spices are one of the most adulterated. It's mixed. Any carbohydrate source, cheap carbohydrates source colored with yellow color can be sold as turmeric powder. Chilies is mixed with what not. All of you know, I need not tell because it doesn't look good. So adulterations, we must be able to detect the adulteration and able to get, because otherwise international market will collapse. Why international market? Even India, we don't want adulterated spices. I add little bit into my food or into my these things for increasing quality. If it is not increasing quality, it is adulterated, then why should I add? So it's a great danger of use of spices if the adulteration increases, the detection of adulterants. Not only that, now today, a lot of unauthorized spices are coming into this country. Black pepper comes from Vietnam, or a lot of things comes from the porous borders, and not able, our revenue, our export import revenue is coming down. So we want to detect the origins of spices, because not only because of adulteration, but in spices, in anything of value, the origins is a very important, traceability is a very important criteria. Where it is grown, how it is grown, from where it is packed, the entire, because today the packing at the end should contain all the details. Which is the variety, which farmer has grown, which is the soil conditions, which is the climatic conditions, how it is transported. So for the traceability of origin of spices also, this is very important. We have identified many. Of course, genomics, as we know, we have not worked that much on the whole genome of spices. We have been working specifically for transcriptomes, for identifying the disease resistance and abiotic stress resistance genes and its functions. But it is time now. China has already sequenced the whole genome of black pepper, and our Indian company AgriGenome is also almost worked on cardamom and curry leaf. Lot of people are working on turmeric. So we have at this point of time lot of genomic information available, and if available, we should be able to utilize the gene and gene, what we say, let us say that transcription factors which enhances the activities, biosynthetic pathways. It will certainly help. And when such system is there, we already developed a sort of a transgenic system for black pepper, cardamom, ginger, turmeric are available. We have already developed a virus resistance using the coat protein gene. Another aspect which we had started, India has started, but did not take further because of the cost involved, is the bypassing the plant production of secondary metabolites. We have done a lot of work is done by CFTRI and CSCR laboratories for saffron production of capsorubin from chili, saffronol from saffron, and in nutmeg also we have tried in myristicin. There are many crops in which I think future, this has a great future if the protected cultivation comes, and all we need is initial material from which we'll be able to use the cell culture system to develop. Of course, this all information is needed for bioprospecting of important genes. Spices are sources of many important genes. We have prepared, collected with available information, biodiversity, genomics and phytophthora genomics, and plenty of databases. And coming to maybe if I have another 10 minutes, I'll be completing it. Spices are functional foods. You think of any major disease. Now today you say spices are high immuno boosters, because of that that particular belief in the people. Spices trade has gone significantly, almost 15% this year. Everybody is using spices. Earlier, nobody used to use spices. Yes, Garcinia. Garcinia is antioxidant. Myristicin. Okay, nutmeg. Anti-carcinogenic. Star anise. Star anise gives you the vaccine Tamiflu. Antiviral compounds. Fenugreek. Anti-diabetic. Black pepper. Bioenhancer. Increases bioavailability. If it is conjugated with any costly drug, its absorption is enhanced significantly. Cinnamon and anti-diabetic. So many. So what we feel, it is known, but we are now working very seriously on the spices as important sources of important and very valuable nutraceutical phytochemicals. Okay, so this itself is a big subject. So in curcuma, just a picture to show what are all compounds which are all available in curcuma. Curcumin is a very important. Curcumin and turmeric curcumin. Curcumin is now one of the most important medicine or nutraceutical used for Alzheimer's. Almost people from above 50 people in most of Europe and USA consume one curcumin capsule a day. So it is curcumin instead of turmeric export, curcumin exporter. So it is started in India, curcumin capsules, curcumin export. It is going to increase tremendously in future years. So Northeast gains very much importance because the highest curcumin in turmeric comes from the Northeast, your Lakadang. Curcumin has a few problems. One of reduced, so much of what you eat will come down. So we have developed a sort of a nano formulation for using curcumin so that it is biologically Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, sir. You can hear now.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Continue,
okay.
please.
Here something happened. What is this?
But your slides are gone, sir.
Okay, okay, right.
Very good.
Nanocurcumin formulation, I think now we have used this formulation.
Sir, your slides are no longer visible.
No, okay, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Right, it's coming now, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
right. Okay, so we are also trying using the cinnamon turmeric combinations, because sometimes our Indian Ayurveda says it is not a pure chemical per se, but it's a combination. So we are developing some sort of combinations for India is the world capital of diabetes. We are trying a coconut oil based, virgin coconut oil based curcumin delivery, and also cinnamon and curcumin for diabetes, and it is working very well in rats. And quite a lot of value added nutraceutical products which we are developing. And coming to farmers, but at the end of the day, there is so much potential, but what does the farmer is getting? So yeah, sort of, we are, I don't want to use that word farmer, because, of late, I use only agri-entrepreneur. From the very beginning, their mindset has to be changed. They are producing really valuable. It's not a stone, but it's a diamond. So what we do, we have a business planning development unit of Indian Institute of Spices Research. So we make a farmer which grows a very unique type of variety. Certainly will not sell it as a raw material. You will certainly make it into a product, and we handhold them. And these are all, we have given 17 licenses, varieties are given, and the states for micronutrient mixtures. At the end of the day, we are bringing a mindset. This is the President of India saying some of our capsule, that our delivery system of TrichoCap, capsules, which is performing very well across this country. Our DGICR is there, and President of India, Honorable President of India is there with one of our startup companies. So we also encourage them. And of course, what we have done, this ICR is now of late taking up this sort of things, which can be agri-based, or any universities which is trying to commercialize their technologies can use. So many of the, it says that spice products, it also says IAS are in between. So what are all the products which are developed by our own entrepreneurs will also be displayed in Indian Institute of Spices Research Spicery. Not only here, they are displayed across the BPD units of ICR institutions, so that a sort of we ourselves will brand and market our own products. I think it will help to help the spice farmers very much, especially the small farmers. Big companies, they don't need you. They are far ahead. And of course, one last stage of late, the cultivation is coming down. Everybody is coming to cities, urban horticulture. The land is not available. We all know. And future farms, smart farms, using the knowledge, robots, data, and mechanized delivery of even fertilizers, fertigation, irrigation, and everything. A system like this may come. So we already said this is ginger in a cropping system mode under a polyhouse cultivation. Ginger, cabbage, and papaya. This is in Raipur University. And we have the technologies for aeroponics without soil at all. Okay, so this technology is still to be upgraded. This is another one which is, I think, tremendous publicity they are giving. Still, we are not very sure about it. A private company using Israel technology is in Maharashtra is popularizing it. It is 100 times per hectare. The yield can be increased 100 times in multi-layered turmeric cultivation. Cost is about 2 crores, but then they say that 100 times yield can be given. Maybe these are all things which may have to little modifications and improvement should be utilized. As you know, because China is our competitor everywhere, knowledge, technology, and whatnot. Okay, This is called changing the lighting plant factories. Okay, not all crops, but I don't know why not all crops. Maybe when we generate the knowledge and able to manage a little bit photosynthetic efficiency, artificial photosynthesis knowledge is already available, and it is may be possible to grow this crops in the plant factories. I think we are nowhere near that, but we still are reasonably good. And of course, e-marketing and all other things, our spices, our spice products, including our own tricow caps, are available in Amazon. And most of the information, as I have presented, is available in the AICRPS or IISR websites. And mobile apps are also available, crop-based information. This is like this. And to conclude, the Indian spices is actually, with or without us, maybe all of us, many stakeholders at different levels are involved. At this point of time, we are on upward growth. This is our target. By 2050, Indian spices is targeted about 18 to 20 billion US dollars. Now we are 3.5, we said, but we reached 3. This year we have reached 3 billion US dollars, and we can. And we will be able to sustain and control the market in future, not because we have to change ourselves from the raw material suppliers, where other countries will dictate and decide what will be the pricings. We should go to the high value phytochemicals. And with that, I think I thank you very much for patiently hearing me, and I am open for any questions you ask. Thank you very much, and I thank you. I thank the Vice Chancellor for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Keshav,
Yes, sir.
can you please ask these questions? There are questions and answers in the question box.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Please ask the questions, and Dr. Babu, he will just try to explain them to the audience.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank Babu sir for giving such an informative presentation. He has, I think, already touched almost all aspects of spice cultivation, starting from the economic value to documentation of FCR and different suitable varieties, especially for Northeast region. He has also talked about resilient varieties for which are resistant to insect and pest, then soil packages, production pipe packages. So it was very detailed and exhaustive presentation. Still, we have few questions that I would like to ask to Babu sir. So sir, I will read out questions one by one.
Yes, sir.
So sir, first question is asked by Dhaneshwar Das. He is asking, what are the varieties for different spices be cultivated in Assam?
Actually, black pepper. Okay, black pepper. Okay, I will tell you quickly, but then you can get all the information from the All India Coordinated Research Project on Spices. But then I will quickly tell you, Karimunda is the most adaptable variety. Okay, what are you targeting? As I told you, from now on, you should not grow black pepper. You should not grow black pepper for a purpose.
Okay.
If you want high oleoresin and piperine, use Cotonadan. Our variety is called Palo 2, is available. And our CPCRA center at Guwahati, that Assam Agricultural University, Guwahati, has developed its own variety locally. It is now coming for release this year. It is also available. And if you have any disease problems, it is Tevam. If you have a Phytophthora problem, Tevam. These are all the 3 varieties. And turmeric, it is Megha. I have already told that Rajendra Sonia is working very well, but it is not for dry turmeric. It is for turmeric powder and high curcumin. Our Assam has identified these 2 varieties, Rajendra Sonia and Lakadang. Lakadang is a local variety which is purified as Megha. Ginger, you have many varieties, but then I will target our variety Mahima Varada. Plus, you should have unique from the Northeast brand, that is Nadia, extra bold Nadia. It will come very well. And I think we'll be able to compete because that's a contiguous area near to the China and Vietnam. And then we'll be able to find the Southeast Asian market for our, instead of coming back to India and going, it can go straight into the required Southeast Asian these things. And which crop else you want?
Sir, actually, he has not mentioned about the crop, but he has another question. He wants to know how spices can help in preservation of vegetables and foods.
These varieties will help in preservation of vegetables, means actually in a cropping system, we can grow, say for example, in a black pepper cropping system, you will be able to grow vegetables in between. Certainly you will be able to grow. And in all the tree crop systems, you will be able to grow all of them. But otherwise, vegetables and ginger is also a vegetable, though it's a spicy vegetable. Many people are using, and chili is a big vegetable. Green chili is one of the biggest vegetable, and onion. Oh, preservation of vegetables. Okay. I did not get the point. Okay. So spices is a preservative.
Yes.
You will be able to use this. Essentially, it is antimicrobial. Adding a little bit of clove, adding a little bit of pepper, adding a little bit of this thing. When you try to store the vegetables, will increase the longevity for much more longer time. But then I think I have not thought about vegetables, and maybe we can be in touch and we'll be able to collect information and give you.
Okay. So, sir, the next question is from someone Guete. He has asked, what type of varieties of spices will be good to cultivate in Northeast, favoring the climate of this region for mass production?
Actually, Northeast is highly suitable for spices. Northeast is known. Only black pepper is now coming. As I have told you, Northeast should contain organic, high essential oil containing, high piperine containing black pepper. In such case, we'll be able to go for Panchami, and Panchami is Imperial, and followed to for black pepper. Turmeric, you already have that Lakadang. Lakadang is the word which everybody knows, but then Megha. Megha is the purified variety of Lakadang. Megha and Rajendra Sonia, because you keep your brand high curcumin. Northeast turmeric contains high curcumin. Ginger, you have many. Of course, many of them are mixed up, but then target a large portion of Northeast to Nadia. Nadia, I don't know whether you have seen Nadia from Nagaland. Please kindly go through. It is almost 5 times the size of normal ginger. It can be commercially mechanized harvesting, mechanized processing can be done for ginger candy, ginger, these things. Plus, I really don't know how much of this thing is there. Star anise is still not exploited in the Northeast. It comes from Burma. We can. And if you want large cardamom, you go for the medium type. Okay. So Ramsay, Sani, those varieties, it has been actually it is released as ICRI 1 and ICRI 2. ICRI Indian Cardamom Research Institute 1 and 2. Those varieties which you can do. And specific, if you have a climatic region, because you can't say it to the Northeast same, because where the water is there, where water is not there, These are all issues. But then if you tell the area, we can give you the exact one suitable for that, each of the area. But then it is not only the suitability of the area, but we should grow for marketing. It's a commercial crop, sir. Okay, we can meet our local requirement, because Northeast uses very little spice except our Bhujilokia, king chili. King chili and turmeric is used locally. And king chili, I have not talked about it because I don't know much. And I think a lot of king chili and export is going to Germany and Europe without Northeast gaining much of the benefits. I think we should popularize king chili branding and the products. It's not that king chili puree, it is made into a sort of puree and then exported, and it is added in almost every what we call the new generation burgers, all this Spanish food. It is this which is used.
Okay, sir.
Right, sir?
Okay,
Anything
sir.
else?
So the next question is from Simi Gogoi. She is asking, what are the laws of distribution of immunity from infectious disease in plants?
My God, you asked a subject itself. Okay, not only in plants, in all organisms. Only thing is plants can't move from there. They will be permanently fixed. Whereas all other organisms can move away. So plants, so because they can't move, plant has many ways of bypassing the system. One is the host pathogen. You know the host pathogen triangle. It is a plant pathology class which we have to give. But then the point which we try to handle here in spices is the climate in which, what we call immunoboosters. Immunobooster means the first part is don't get exposed to the pathogen load. Second one is reduce the pathogen load with the presence of all others. If the teacher is there, this students doesn't make sound. If the teacher is not there, the sound will increase. So that is the principle of biological control. The organisms will be able to reduce or maintain the populations at a particular level, which is below the threshold level. Then even though the pathogen is there, disease won't happen. The principles are same, both in plants and in animals. Essentially, this is because the animal system can go away and can do many things by themselves, whereas plants cannot do. And they do it because, what they do, in addition to the resistant genes, the process by itself, they develop a sort of epicuticular wax or crop season variation with the diseases, and maybe a sort of other mechanisms, hairiness, all sorts of other phenotypic characters by which it will reduce the infection. And the rest of it, I think this is all I can say at this point of time.
Okay, sir. So the next question is from Nagraj Hegde. He's asking how Vietnam is maintaining black pepper quality even under monocropping. Can you suggest any specific variety?
Not like that, sir. Vietnam's variety is not as good as us. See, I'm just telling. One is me, 62-year-old. Another is maybe Agdesab, I think he's very young. So there is a difference when an area introduces a new crop.
Okay.
Whereas India, it is thousands of years. We are growing in the same area, same land, same these things. Whereas they have introduced only about 40, 50 years back. So that has a special advantage. In addition, what they do, their rainfall pattern, because earlier Kerala used to be like that. We used to have, just like the olden days, they used to say 3 rains in a month. Then it is, so our rainfall has changed. There is a long dry period which is coming to India, which is not there in Vietnam. Yeah. So they are able to maintain. And of course, one more thing, last thing, sir, Vietnam is a single man, very disciplined country. Okay, they don't have democracy like us, so that everybody will do whatever they like. There, they do.
Yes.
And what I have seen when I visited Vietnam is that it is being a new crop. Earlier we used to have, see why Kerala, which is produces 90% is only now producing only 20% and Karnataka now 70%, because they like the crop. Variety wise, we have far superior. I think I did not show the slide. I can show you in Karnataka, each vine giving 100 kgs of black pepper. 100. Okay. So that is the issue. We have, essentially ours is a mixed cropping system, and theirs is a pure cropping system, and they are new. The diseases are yet to enter. Now it is entering. They have a problem. They have, a communist country, disciplined, commercial, targeted production. That is the reason, sir. Otherwise, we can easily counter them. And I always used to say, sir, don't worry, sir. Some countries can do very well for some time. But if you have to continuously do long period of time, India is the country.
Yes. Sir, he has another question. Mizoram is yet to adopt black pepper. Any initiative from Spice Board providing equipment like threshers? And what will be the optimum spacing for black pepper in hilly terrain?
I could not hear the question, sir.
Sorry, sir. Sir, I will read it again. Any initiative from Spice Board for introducing black pepper in Mizoram? And what will be the optimum spacing for black pepper in hilly terrain?
Sir, can you message it? It is breaking. I could not hear.
Oh, okay, sir. Hello. Hello. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Now tell me the question once again, sir.
Yes, sir. So, sir, question is any initiative from Spice Board to introduce black pepper in Mizoram?
No, I don't know, sir. But earlier we have introduced something in a tissue cultured plants in almost all the northeastern states. But Mizoram, as we know, there is a lot of water stagnation, but we can still grow in some areas. Black pepper is there, sir. Especially the beetle vines, its related species, beetle, palm leaf. I think we can try a bit. Spices Board is now targeting Assam.
Sir, Sir Nirmal sir,
Yes.
I will just go and because there is one minister meeting is there at 1 o'clock. I am
Yes,
going
yes,
joining
yes,
that
thank you.
meeting.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, the next question is from Sri Ramamurthy. He's asking, is it possible to eliminate the virus disease in somatic embryogenesis process?
Yes, we have proved it is possible.
Okay,
The eliminated ones doesn't have virus in testing. That's what I have shown. But is it possible to eliminate completely? No, because a virus is there in the atmosphere. If it is there in the locality, it will come back. Because virus, there is no way of getting it. Virus resistance is still not really achieved unless antibody system in plant system, whether antibody antigen system will work. It was also an answer for the earlier question, which we really don't know. Okay, but we can maintain it virus free.
okay, sir. Sir,
Yeah, okay. Right, sir.
so, sir, next question is from Smita Barkatki. She's asking, what are the scope for a Jhum farmer to grow high value spices like cinnamon and saffron during the Jhum season? Not during the Jhum season, during the fallow period season.
Once again, sir.
Scope for Jhum farmers or shifting cultivation farmers to grow high value spices like cinnamon and saffron during the Jhum season or during the fallow period.
I will put it this way, sir. Cinnamon is a tree crop. So if you plant it, June means the next June it will get burned. So it's not possible. Only thing is high value crops is, sir. See, in fallow season, you can use coriander, leafy coriander.
Yes, sir.
Leafy coriander is one of the highest earning in 30 days. It is available. Each plant will cost you 1 rupee. So use herbal spices in those regions because you get about 1 month, 2 months time only. So you can use many of these herbs which will come up very well, and it can be sold in the local market, which because I cannot send that to Kerala.
Right.
It has to be used locally. So coriander and quite a few Northeast, maybe the university can do a lot of job of identifying, because in the markets of Nagaland, in markets of all other places, I find many ferns, many other things which are used as spice to flavor your this thing, which many of us don't even know. So it can be done, but coriander is a coriander and mint. Okay, some of the things which we can immediately cut and can be sold.
Right. So,
Yes.
sir, next question is from Sunny Lavan Sanda. He is asking, I want to start a spice business. Can you please suggest a company which can partner with?
Spice business is cutthroat, sir, because everybody want to keep their secrets. But then you approach Indian Institute of Spice Research BPD unit, sir, it will tell you. But then I have already told you what you can do spice business in Northeast. King chili. King chili, there is not many people who will do it, and large cardamom comes from there. And of course, very specific lakadang, because the industry here wants high curcumin turmeric. If you are able to, because last time in our meeting at Nagaland, we asked the people to join together, and because each farmer will have only 10 tons, 5 tons, 1 ton. 1 ton is not enough for the industry. So somebody has to collect it, a collector. So a farmer producing organization or some of you can join together and get the best large cardamom. And I can, our BPD unit can suggest you from people across Europe and who wants organic, high quality, guaranteed. But 1 year you supply, next year you don't supply, nobody wants. Otherwise, you process it from there and market it as your own. One of our startup actually collects you see turmeric powder. Which is turmeric powder? This year is something, next year is something, and different variety from different place. So they grow very specific variety in a particular region, and that particular region with specified curcumin, specified carbohydrate, specified these things, and sell it in US. And today she claims that she is one of the #1 supplier in US, because every year the quality is safe. So what the big companies do, which small people like us can't do, is they blend it. If there is anything if they collect a bulk, if it is less in something, they add something and then bring to the level, which we cannot do.
Okay.
So Spices Board, you can talk, and BPD unit of Indian Institute of Spices Research will be able to help you in giving. A lot of people are doing, and do it for a unique thing. Organic, you will have market. The entire European market is looking, because no suppliers, consistent suppliers are not there.
Yes.
All you have to do is preliminary hygienic processing and packing, send it.
Okay, sir. So there's one last question from Mr. Bisarlang Pingro. He's asking, what are the different uses of Naga chili apart from being eatable?
You know, sir, Parliament has already shown it. It can numb you. Okay, it can numb an attacker or anything, but that numbing is a sort of, you can do operations. You can, that particular region can be made to numb, and you can cut, so you can do surgeries, you can do quite a few things. And essentially what capsicum can do is opening of your pores. It's a penetrant, our dilate our pores, so that whatever medicine which is given will go into the system. Okay, so it is just like chili. The only thing is Naga chili has 10 times or a million times more than the ordinary chili, paprika. There it is only color. Here it is the capsaicin, which penetrates, and it can do so many things in addition to spicy these things. It is a very important component. That's why do you think the entire Europe is doing? And more than that, one drop of king chili is enough for 100 kg of ordinary chili.
Right, sir.
Mixing, uniform, lot of things can be done, sir. But Naga chili has, if it is not grown properly, the pungency value will come down very much. Okay, so you have to maintain the purity of the seed and then do it, sir.
So, sir, one more question has come. Sorry, it is
No
from Rasmi Thakre. She is asking, I'm from Maharashtra, and our region is with regular rainfall, but with high temperature, can we produce vanilla?
I have already introduced vanilla into the Dapoli region. Okay, Maharashtra, this is Western Ghats, sir. It continues. Maharashtra as a state is different, but some part of it, certainly yes. And vanilla, I'm just telling you, sir, even now Mexico is growing in protected cultivation. I have already told you. A small polyhouse, maybe Kerala government gives you 1 cent polyhouse. In 1 cent of land, you can make a small polyhouse where you can grow raspberries, mints, all those things. You can grow vanilla, and it is a beautiful plant. And you can do the pollination. And if you are able to get about 3 inflorescences, you are getting 35,000 rupees.
Yes.
It can certainly, it will come, sir.
Yes. So I think all the queries has been answered. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
I will transfer the party, sir.
Dr. Abigail is there? Dr. Abigail, are you able to hear me? Okay, I think she may be disconnected.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, hello, sir. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Now, sorry, we have come to the end of the program. It was a very nice lecture by Dr. Babu. Thank you, sir, for your very informative talk to our participants. I think we had around more than 100 participants throughout the program. And I think you have given a very informative talk on the how we can grow the spices, what are the utilities, and how we can sustain them for a longer time, how we can use them for the different purposes. So it was a wonderful talk. Everybody has taken a lot of the interest to ask questions. I think nearly around 15 questions they have been asked, which you have just very nicely in a lucid manner, you have just explained them. So thank you very much. And maybe I think Mizoram also, we have a very good climate. We can go for growing vanilla. Maybe we can just take your expertise. We can try vanilla here. If we will be successful, it will be a great things for the Mizoram, place like Mizoram.
Yes.
And maybe I think I'd like to, in the last, I'd like to thank all the participants. They have been listening to the Dr. Babu very, carefully, and they have taken interest in the program. And I think there will be a lot of ignition in the different young minds, and the people, they may like to take the advantage of the talk and may like to use certain spices, the initiate plantations and the use of this kind of spices in the different region of the country. It will be a great help. So I thank our Vice Chancellor, sir, also. He took very
Sir, it seems he is disconnected.
It seems so.
Oh.
Maybe some network issue right now, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Then. Yeah, I think it was a great network issue. Everybody, throughout the program, we had a network issue. Anyway, thank you, Suraj Singh.
So now Madam Abigail can propose the vote of thanks. Are you there, madam?
Sir, can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Hello, am I audible to you?
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Okay, I would like to thank everyone who had participated in the webinar. And especially, we would like to thank our speaker, Dr. Ken Yermalpal, for his time and his enlightenment on the spices, especially with context to Northeast. So thank all the panels who have taken their time to organize this webinar. I hope it was all fruitful for everyone who attended the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for this nice presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you to all the participants. Now I'm ending the session.